What up? We're back, like we said we would be.
Yes.
And we're here to talk about WWE Saturday Night's main event and WWE Evolution. And
Indeed.
honestly, one of the two shows wasn't bad. The other one had like one good match.
Which
And
one could it be?
the first one actually, that you probably didn't watch.
That I didn't watch?
Didn't you say you missed like the first couple or like the first hour of Saturday Night's main event?
I watched it this morning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'm a pro, man. What are you talking about?
So
Can't talk about things that I didn't see.
I mean, I'm gonna be talking about SmackDown when I don't watch it. So we can.
You'll see parts of it.
So
You'll get the gist.
Saturday Night's main. I mean, it's WWE. Saturday Night's main event. We had Wade and Cole on commentary, which is a common theme for both shows.
Yes, it is.
I wish they wouldn't use the same commentary team on everything. I would have loved to have heard what's his face on one of the two shows.
Are you talking about like Vic Joseph? Who are you talking about?
No, the guy they sent down to NXT.
Isn't that Vic Joseph?
No, the dude that used to be a wrestler.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves. Thank you. I like Corey Graves.
Wow, fake fan.
Dude, I didn't even know half the people in the damn Rumble tonight. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of NXTers there.
But yeah, Corey Graves. I would have liked to have heard him instead of Wade both nights. Or Cole both nights. Cole can take a break. I'm cool with that. I'd be happy for them to bring back your favorite guy.
My favorite guy. Who's my favorite guy?
Pat McAfee.
Pat is exhausting. I love Pat McAfee, but he's exhausting.
We're from Indianapolis, so we love Pat McAfee for more than just wrestling here. But
yeah, he swims in our canals.
Yeah, when he gets drunk. I like Pat McAfee's commentating. He keeps me awake.
He is amped up. Sometimes him being amped up is it just becomes exhausting over time.
Right. All right. So the first match of the night for Saturday Night's main event was Randy Orton with Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre with Logan Paul. Everybody knew what this was gonna be because they had basically stated, or the dirt sheets, as people like to call them, had already basically stated that they're working Jelly Roll into a program for SummerSlam.
Well, it was kind of carryover from SmackDown on Friday as well because they had some segments there as well.
Right. So, the actual match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre was pretty good. I mean, they're two established veterans.
Pros. Yeah, they're two pros.
You're not going to get a bad matchup from the two of them. Well, against each other, anyways. It was the ending. Like Orton. So Logan causes a distraction. Drew hits a Claymore on Orton. Orton ends up kicking out, and then outside, Logan and Jelly get into it. Drew, after being distracted by them, turns around and gets RKO'd. Orton gets the win. And then after the match, Logan goes in to beat down on Orton. Jelly Roll comes in, saves him by punching Logan a couple times. And then my favorite moment of that whole post-match segment, Jelly Roll gets Claymored.
Yeah, he does. He got the shit Claymored out of him. It was the best part of the whole segment, really. Because it came out of nowhere. He came out of frame to connect with him. It was great.
Oh, yeah. The camera work on it was spectacular. Very well done. So, I don't mind, again, celebrities getting involved. I actually like Jelly Roll quite a bit, and he's had a hell of a year. He started to get really... Like, I've been listening to Jelly Roll for like 10 years, right?
Sure.
He's done underground hip-hop for most of his career. Went on to. He also has been doing some singing prior to becoming famous for being a country star, is what he's now turned into.
Yeah, he's hella mainstream.
But he's starting to he's finally started to catch some fame from his music stuff. Was actually featured on Eminem's newest album, which is probably hype as hell for him. Super happy for him on that. He's also been popping up on so many other people's albums. I'm pretty sure. I think he was on Lil Wayne's newest one as well.
Yeah, he's very mainstream. He's all over the place.
He's this generation's Lil Jon is how it's starting to feel like. He's everywhere. And but I'm super happy for him because he's also a really nice dude. I've met him in person. I don't know him. I don't have his number or no shit like that, but I have met him. Super chill, super laid back, super kind. Probably one of the kindest people that I've run into famous wise. Of course,
he's had a hellacious
life.
Yeah,
it's full of drugs, alcohol, and all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, so I'm happy to see him get involved. Now, with that being said, though, maybe again because we talked about this last night. Maybe it's because we watch so many different wrestling shows that it feels like it happens all the time. But there just always feels like there's a celebrity involved. Whether it's Big Boom AJ for AEW, whether it's Jelly Roll for WWE, whether it's Snoop Dogg for either of the promotions because he's been in both.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
I mean, you just name your celebrity.
It just feels like there's always a celebrity involved. Johnny Knoxville, whatever. And I would like a break from it, but we're in a situation where, at least in the WWE, I don't think we're going to get one.
No, they want the mainstream attention because they're a large corporation, and they want as many eyeballs as they can.
And like I said, with the WWE one, at least the guy was a trained wrestler prior to becoming famous, so he knows what he's doing. I worry Jelly Roll's gonna fuck around and get himself hurt.
Yeah, you're talking about the AEW one. Yeah, he's obviously a fan, and he obviously is loving the opportunity, but it's just a distraction.
But I can't say much. If I was to ever become famous and the WWE was like, hey, we want somebody to do their finishing move to you outside on the table. Would you want to do it? I'd probably be like, hell yeah. Is it gonna hurt?
It's also a big
yes.
it's also a big for pay-per-view. They just have to have that involvement. Who was the streamer that got speared out of his
I Show Speed?
Yeah, so.
Caught the nastiest spear I have ever seen from anybody, dude. And it's still, I think somebody didn't even rank it in their top 5 spears, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? I was pretty sure he was dead.
Yeah, he about ripped that poor streamer in half.
I watched the interview, by the way, that Braun Breaker had sometime within the last week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually talking about that spear, and he was like, yeah, he's like, we talked about it, and he was supposed to come out and do what he did and taunt, and I started to hit the ropes, and all I kept thinking was, please turn around, please turn around, please turn around. And he did. Perfect timing. Like, the timing was perfect. It was a beautifully done spear. Also, something you're going to find out with a lot of this show is there are, and I'm not going to go over every time one pops up, but besides, the insane amount of commercials, it's like at least 45 minutes of the show. There are a lot of video packages for Goldberg, reasonably so.
Yeah, they're in Georgia, so they're getting it over. They're attempting to get it over anyways.
After the match, backstage segment, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are arguing. Listen, here in Indianapolis, we have stores called Aldi's. That is Aldi's, goddammit. No, but Pearce and Aldis are arguing with Paul and Drew backstage. Nothing comes of the argument. It just happens. So then, that's one of those segments we didn't need, right? And that's why I mentioned it. Like, it's just them in the back yelling at each other. And it's like, what's the point? Why do we need to see that?
Yeah.
Fill
It could
airtime.
have been. It could have been the same thing. Could have been accomplished by the announce team during the next intros of the next match, saying Aldis and Pierce just got together and announced that blah 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 blah.
Right. So then we get some more promo for Evolution, and then we get a moment where they show a few of the women that are involved, and then they eventually pan over and they show Jade Cargill, and then Naomi sneak attacks her in the crowd. They go at it, and that causes it was Adam Pearce that came out to announce it.
Yep.
But yeah, Pierce came out and was like, "Well, I was going to wait and talk to you guys backstage, but since you want to, fight out here, Bianca Belair is the special guest referee for your guys' match tomorrow." And
I actually like this segment. It actually gave Naomi some fire.
Oh yeah.
Actually made me kind of hyped to see the match.
The segment itself, absolutely loves the fight. The announcement of Bianca Belair as the special guest referee, I didn't care for because I knew what was going to happen. And I ended up being right.
Yeah, it was just an excuse to get Bianca on the pay-per-view.
It's not. It's. She didn't add anything to the match, which we'll get to that when we get to Evolution.
Yeah, she literally added nothing.
I've never been impressed, but either time that I know of, unless there's more. Bianca's been special guest referee. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to add a special guest referee, they have to be involved in some way, shape, or form, and not just being a legit referee that's just kind of on screen.
Well, she's the referee to a no-holds-barred match, so she's literally just there to count the pin,
right?
Which they didn't give her a ton to do.
Right.
Like special guest referees are supposed to be there to like keep people in the within the rules and be tough on the people to make sure they're abiding by it. But when you put them in a match with no rules, you literally give them nothing to contribute.
Right. So then match 2 is the WWE United States Championship match. It's Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa. I didn't care for this match at all. It actually has nothing to do with anybody involved. It's more to do with it was so predictable. You knew Solo was going to win. You knew it was going to be by
it's
interference.
Just more overbooked bloodline-esque BS, and it's just so overdone now.
I actually wrote down in my notes after the I wrote match 2 United States Championship match Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa with Tonga Loa, Tala Tonga, and JC Mateo. And then underneath it I said, we are never getting away from this bloodline bullshit.
Well, they have all the... Aside from JC Mateo, who was formerly Jeff Cobb, all the other guys are green as shit.
Not really. They've all been in the Indies for like 10 years.
Yeah, they were in New Japan, where they were in a bunch of tag matches all the time and not really doing much of anything.
Yeah, they suck. They've always sucked. Other than JC Mateo, and they're never going to let him do the stuff that he's known for doing.
No, he has been just watered down and is just a lackey. And he has the most ability out of all of them, but he's not related to
any of them,
the final boss or anybody. So
one of the cool things though, Solo Sikoa, the way he won, he ends up doing a roll up on, I put quote unquote Big Jim, as everybody calls him now, through the ropes.
Big Jim,
because Jim was actually on the apron doing something.
I did like this part.
And
he rolled him up.
He rolls him through the ropes, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone do. And then Tala Tonga holds him down with his boot.
His ass and holds him put. So this big tall ass has his boot through the ropes, holding Solo by the ass to leverage the pin.
I actually wrote down this whole sequence specifically was really dope.
Yeah, it was creative. I'll give him that.
And then
The
afterwards,
match itself was awful, though. The match itself was nothing special.
and then I said after another post-match beatdown as they destroy Jimmy. Jacob Fatu comes out and messes everyone up, though. And then at the end, I put, still tired of this bloodline shit.
Yeah. So I'm glad they got the Samoan Werewolf away from the rest of the group so they can push him properly, because he is super talented.
He's just going to join Bloodline 1.
I hope not. Well, War Games is right around the corner.
Yep.
Hopefully not. Hopefully Jacob Fatu gets to have a nice singles push and gets away from this Solo Sikoa feud as quickly as possible.
We get another backstage segment. Orton apologizing to Jelly Roll for having him out there. Jelly decide, is like, hey, we should. I still want to fight him. At that point, Orton's like, yeah, sure, we can wrestle him at SummerSlam. Jelly Roll decided on the team name being RK Roll, and then we're getting Logan and Drew versus RK Roll at SummerSlam. And in my notes, I specifically wrote, "Shoot me. I'm okay with the match. I'm just tired of dumbass team names across wrestling."
I put in my notes, I RK rolled my eyes at this.
It's not even just them, dude. There is no creativity in tag team names anymore. They just take the two wrestlers that are involved and try to mix their names together.
Just smash them together.
And I hate it. Or they take aspects of other team names that they're a part of and they smash them together. And it's just like, bruh, create something new.
And it's across both promotions too.
Like,
because what we had yesterday,
Jet Speed. Terrible name.
Terrible. I said that to Kristen, and she's like, or no, it may have been you the other night. She's like, well, one of you guys was like, well, what would you call them? I would just call them Speedball Mike and Kevin Knight, and that would be the end of it.
Or call them, never mind. I'm going to leave that on the table. We're going to run away from that because I was about to get myself canceled. So, but yeah, then we get match 3, which actually, you had said something, by the way, before it happened for me, because I got started later than you. Because I started from the very beginning, and you mentioned Seth getting injured.
Yep.
So I spent the whole match waiting for it to happen, and I was like, this is just a really good match. Where's the fuck is the injury? And then it finally happened. But I do want to take a second to reinforce to everybody my absolute hatred of LA Knight's character.
Yeah.
Timu Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out with the same Stone Cold swagger. He hits all 4 turnbuckles and lifts his arms up, and every single time I want to kick him in the dick. I hate
LA
it.
Knight's not that bad. He is a parody of the Attitude Era. He's like a bunch of the Attitude Era wrestlers combined into one guy.
I know, and I think that's why I hate it so much, because it doesn't feel original. And I know it's hard to come up with an original character. Don't get me wrong. It's none of us were original when we in our CCW characters either. Every single one of our personas were based off of somebody. But
sure.
We were also teenagers. Backyard wrestling. Wow. Yeah. Well, every time those commercials came on, it was like, "Don't try this at home." We were like, "Hey, let's go try this outside. It's not at home."
Yeah, it was not at either of our homes. Well, it was at your home and my cousin's home.
Yeah.
This is where we did most of our wrestling.
A couple times down at the park.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Getting thrown on mulch.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically at some point, Seth goes to do a moonsault late in the match. As he lands, it looks like he tweaks his knee. Doctor comes out. They talk for a second. You can kind of read Seth's lips. Looks like he says we need to go home.
Yeah, he talks with Heyman. He pulls the referee in. The referee then backs off LA Knight. You can tell she's communicating with the back because she goes to switch her microphone on. The doctor comes over. The ref then joins them. Like you said, you can tell Seth said something about going home. Seth pulls himself to his feet, immediately takes Knight's finish, and they go home.
The BFT.
Yeah, I saw a clip of him getting help to the back during the commercial break, which they immediately went to. Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too bad, but as of right now, they're still being very quiet about what it could be.
Yeah, he's been fighting that knee injury, that knee specifically, for like 15 years. Almost every single time he's been injured, it's been that knee.
Yeah, he's had multiples.
And it's so weird, too, because when you watch it, it doesn't look like he landed any differently than anyone ever does.
Well, his senton, when he came up, it looked like he wasn't very stable, but he went ahead and went into the moonsault anyways. And because, like you said, it looked like he firmly planted and landed. You didn't see it really buckle all that much, which is why the internet was like, he's not really hurt, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, you don't collapse into the corner and call the referees and stuff over if it's not legit.
Right. So then match 3, that was match 3. What the fuck am I talking about? I didn't scroll down. They show some more ladies in the crowd for the Evolution promo, and then match 4 starts, which is the WWE World Title match. Gunther versus Goldberg. Goldberg comes out, and the only person I recognize, and I know there are other people, I recognized Ernest the Cat Miller walking him out.
They had the head of security from WCW there. He's the guy who knocked on the door, who's just been doing it forever.
Right. And I think there are 1 or 2 others that have been involved with Goldberg for the length of his career with him. But like I said, the only one I personally recognized was Ernest the Cat Miller. Not much to really talk about with this match. It was not as short as I thought it was going to be.
Gunther bumped all over the place for him. Tried to make him look as good as possible for what we hope is his final match.
Goldberg put his all into spearing that fucking barricade.
Yeah, he did. He ran right through it.
They had a pretty decent back and forth for a lot of the match. Eventually, obviously, Gunther. I always want to call him Walter, dude. I liked him more as Walter than I do Gunther.
So do I. Here we are.
But eventually Gunther starts working on his knee. Goldberg ends up accidentally spearing the ref. Poor fucking Charles Robinson, dude. The dude's had a rough couple months.
Everybody was bumping like hell for Goldberg in this match.
Yeah, but Robinson specifically has had a rough couple months. He also got fucking.
That was Cena wiped him out.
Yeah. Cena gave him
the last pay-per-view.
Cena gave him a Willow Nightingale style pounce almost into the fucking front row.
Yeah, that was fun.
He's had a rough month. So
some scrapes and bruises, as they say.
Gunther goes over and starts to mess with Goldberg's kid. Gets in the ring after the kid gets stopped by security when he tries to jump in and do something. He gets speared and then jackhammered. The ref isn't there to count. A new ref finally comes out. Gunther gets the upper hand, gets Goldberg in a sleeper. While he has the sleeper on, Goldberg kind of fights out of it, but then, as he's standing up, falls right back into it. Ref sees that he's passed out, calls for the win. Gunther dips out. Goldberg says 3 sentences. They cut to commercial break, and then they never come back.
So they came back on the feed I watched, and he had a brief little farewell. Hopefully it's a lasting one. Enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, on mine, on mine it was literally just, thank you, Atlanta. Thank you to the fans. And then he breathed heavy. He looked down like he was looking at his kid. I seen him pull the mic back up to his face to say something. Then it went to commercial break. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the feed just stopped. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, my feed, it did do all that. It went to the commercial, but then it came back from the commercial and it let him finish the little bit that he had left to say.
Well, that's good.
He was just, again, thanking Atlanta, thanking all the people that helped him along the way. And he apologized for not winning in Atlanta because he believed he was undefeated in Atlanta.
Right. And that was the end of that. I feel like I watched Simon Miller's ups and downs today for both AEW show and then for All In and Saturday Night's Main Event. And I want everybody to understand something. It is already hard to watch shows like Saturday Night's Main Event when the show's literally just put together for commercials.
It's literally counter programming for the sake of counter programming.
And I feel like this is one of the times where they didn't benefit from the counter programming at all.
Well, in their minds, any eyes away from the competition is a win, no matter how few it is.
Oh, I know, but the problem is
because they just make money despite themselves.
They booked one of their top stars and he got injured.
Oh yeah, it was a net loss because
nobody was talking about it on Twitter. Like All In had all of the fucking trending going,
as they should have.
Nobody gave a fuck about Goldberg retiring. Like it's and on top of it, the show's boring. And for those of us that did come over from watching All In, you're talking about watching one of the best pay-per-views so far this year. Period. To turn around and watch whatever this commercial-laden ad fest is.
Yeah, going from a pay-per-view quality matches to just a random middle of the week. Well, it's not even middle of the week. Just a wrestling TV show.
Yeah.
Right. That's matches don't have the stakes. They're not going to have the effort. It was jarring.
And
because it was all the same day.
And the things that did have stakes, you already knew the outcome, which is going to be another problem I have when we talk about Evolution. Like, you know, everybody knew Gunther was beating Goldberg. There's not a chance in hell Goldberg was winning that match. It was a match literally just to have the match for Goldberg to come out and retire to. And honestly,
what are you talking about, man? He had the visual 3 count. The referee hosed him.
Yeah, the referee was out. Whatever. The Seth Rollins LA Knight blow-off match could have happened on an actual episode of Raw. There was no reason to throw that on to this show. Honestly, what this show was mainly used for was advertising Evolution.
Yeah.
There was the United States Championship match, but we all knew damn good and well Solo wasn't losing to Jimmy. So, and they set up one match so far for SummerSlam. Yippee.
Well, 2, because you know Jacob Fatu is fighting Solo there.
Yeah. I suppose. So then we get to today, and guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Evolution was a good show. But after the long-ass day of wrestling yesterday, I struggled.
Yeah, it was a long weekend. It was a long weekend.
I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam, bro. I'm not.
The 2-night extravaganza?
Yeah, and then one of those nights we've also got fucking Collision. I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm not.
Well, at least with AEW having their standard TV, their work rate is going to be good regardless. So it's not like they just throw in the towel. Like
they'll probably put Collision on a Thursday that week. That's what they usually do for WWE's big shows.
And that's fine.
But no, I'm not looking forward to 2 days. 2 day. I don't. 2-day pay-per-views are unnecessary. I don't even like it for WrestleMania. The only pay-per-view I think should be 2 days is the Royal Rumble, and that's just so you can put a Rumble on each day.
So, I will say, I would rather it be 2 nights of 3 hours instead of what we had yesterday and that very, very, very long AEW pay-per-view.
But see, WrestleMania used to be like 17 matches at 4 hours. Like,
yeah, but then it was 17 matches at 8 hours.
well,
and
that's
then
what.
a 2-hour
But
pre-show.
that's what I'm saying though. I don't need every match to be 20, 30 minutes. I don't need ads in between each match. I don't need a video package so that people that aren't paying for ads have something to watch in between those. Like, dude, do it like
Those big 4 shows are for the casuals, though. And that's how they catch the casuals up.
I don't fucking care about the casuals.
Well, that's because you're not a casual.
I hate it so much. It's
It's a lot. It is a lot.
So we get to Evolution. Joe Tessitore and Stephanie McMahon are hosting the show. It was nice to see Steph on TV. I like Steph.
You mean Stephanie McMahon, the person who created women's wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was real nice for her to come out and remind everybody that she created women's wrestling. Like Steph, just didn't need so much of her tonight.
At least she wasn't commentating.
No, but you had to hear her in between each match.
Right. We had Michael Cole and Wade Barrett as the actual
The Dream Team
color commentators.
again.
Match 1, Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I am already going to say this. It is my match of the night.
I would agree.
I think they killed
I would agree. The main event. While the main event was good, this match was better because it just made more sense.
Well,
the crowd was hot for it too.
This match was upbeat. There wasn't a whole lot of bullshit.
There was no shenanigans.
They were taking turns doing some really good moves to each other. Lyra had this really cool submission hold I've never seen before, unless she's done it and I just never noticed it. It looks like one of those amusement park Viking ships. But it's kind of like...
Oh, she does that all the time.
Does she? Maybe I just don't pay attention to her because I'm not a fan. But...
Yeah, she does it all the time.
Yeah, it's like that reverse Boston Crab hybrid thing, and then she picks up their arms and swings them. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she does that all the time. There's been a bunch of wrestlers who's done that.
We got a fun
not lately.
We got a fun Beck exploder to Bayley into the fucking barricade outside that looked like it hurt.
Yes. I want to commend Becky because out of all of them, out of the two, and Bayley does this a little bit, but man, Becky sells. Her facial expressions are awesome.
My favorites are the ones where, and this is the stupid kind of selling. Anytime she doesn't get the pin and she sits up and starts talking to herself and she's pissed.
So she does that a lot. She does it too much. It starts to get annoying.
I love it. I don't.
I can see like doing it a little bit makes sense, but man, she's like doing it constantly. Like she talked the whole match. She talked more than Cole and Barrett combined.
It's because she's psycho. That's the point.
She's something else, I tell you.
Lyra Valkyria hit this really cool Faymaster off the top rope, and I don't give a fuck what the fucking announcers tried to call it. It's a Faymaster. It looked really nice. Bayley, who I still hate the way her name is spelled, hit the rose at the end of the match. Hit the rose plant on Lyra. Went to go get the pin, and then Becky hit Bayley with the most devastating move in pro wrestling.
The roll up.
The roll up.
It was a neat roll up though.
It was a crucifix roll up.
Yeah, through the ropes and stuff though.
And she won.
It was nice.
So this was one of those ones. If you guys remember, if you guys were here for last night's show, I didn't want Becky to win, but that's one of those. I don't mind that she won, because she is my favorite wrestler. But I would have liked to have seen probably Bayley win, to be honest.
No, they got to set up the blow off between Bayley and Lyra, which will probably be this week on Raw, if I had to guess.
Right.
And then I don't know what Becky's got going on for SummerSlam, because you can't really run this back, so I don't know who they're gonna.
Well, and surprisingly, probably Julia is who I'd throw up against Becky next. No, she's on SmackDown.
She's on SmackDown and she's the U.S. champ. You can't have champion
Yeah.
versus champion. This isn't
Uh,
bragging rights.
could be. Could be. I don't know who you have her go up against because you're not going to do. You can't do Stephanie at this point because Stephanie, thanks to tonight,
No.
has a world championship match coming up.
Yes.
Um,
Well, they got some weeks to book something, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Got to have bets on the card.
If they're even going to have her on the card, who knows? WWE likes to not have titles defended sometimes.
She's going to be on the card. She's too big a name not to have on the card.
I ended up putting great match. I probably wouldn't have opened with this, but I may be wrong.
I put good
We'll
match.
see.
I put good match. I like the roll up win, the sneaky heel win with the roll up. I think it's right out of the cusp of great, especially considering it's the women's match we saw yesterday. So, very solid match. It was a good pay-per-view women's match.
Absolutely. And then we have a moment where they go through, they show some women in the crowd, and then I got the worst moment of the entire night. Thank goodness it was only 5 seconds. I could go without ever hearing Vicky Guerrero yell "excuse me" ever again.
Yeah, they had Rock's daughter Ava show up and waved, and they had Mark Henry was there for some reason, so he's back there with the Legends deal.
Is that Rock's daughter? Because I thought Parker was Rock's daughter, and she wrestled.
No, Ava, the GM for NXT, is the Rock's daughter. So they showed her first. They showed
right.
Mark Henry.
I mean, she does look like
then they showed Vicky.
She does look like him.
Yeah, she raises an eyebrow and it's like looking at him.
They showed a lot of people. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause this. All right. So, anyways, going into match 2, we get the NXT Women's Championship match, which is JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. The match wasn't the greatest, but some things happened that I'm very happy with, even though I don't care about what they do down in NXT because it's just I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of JC Jane. Jordynne Grace did her best to make this match work.
Jordan. So there's one moment, dude, where JC Jane goes to kick her on the apron and kicks the apron before she kicks Jordynne Grace, and she grabs her foot, and I was like, "There's no way she's gonna hurt herself by kicking the floor. Like, how do you do that?"
Yeah, she's still a little wet behind the ears. Probably shouldn't be the champion of that promotion, but I don't know where they're going with this booking. She's got a little entourage. I don't watch NXT, so I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley, who I had to go Google because I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, go NXT.
So I also have Jordynne Grace hit a small package powerbomb that was pretty dope. I thought it was going to be a pile driver because I didn't know she did it as a powerbomb.
Yeah, sit out.
I was like, that was pretty dope. Now, JC James ends up winning because Blake Monroe hit Grace with the woman's title when JC James threw her into the ropes. And this is one of the things I was glad about, and I'm going to tell you why. Everything that I've been seeing that's been going on, they are literally just telling the exact same story AEW did. Like, she was happy to be with Jordynne Grace, was going to follow Jordynne Grace into Jordynne Grace winning the championship, and then I was like, and then she's going to betray her and try to take the title from her. Thankfully, they did the betrayal way before it got that far. And not to say it's a bad story, but I don't need to see the same story twice with the exact same person doing it.
Well, so here's the thing. They're booking for their audience. They know there's crossover, but they don't care. So They're booking for their audience. It does seem a little watered down, especially if you've seen the AEW version of it all, because the characters are just more fleshed out there.
Right.
But, yeah.
But I was glad they did it now instead of waiting.
Yeah, hopefully we can get all these players past all this so we can get them into more refreshing storylines. Because I think Monroe is going to be good when she gets something to really chew on, and this ain't really it yet.
No.
But yeah, hopefully we get there sooner rather than later.
But yeah, so JC Jane keeps the title, and I wrote my final thoughts were it was an okay match, a lot of high power, solid power spots by Grace that I enjoyed as expected, and that was about it.
Yeah, I put lots of interference. Yeah, belt to the back. Jace wins. I put mid-match that Grace carried.
Yep. Then we got match 3, which is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, where I got to see a lot of the women that I do like and a couple that I don't.
Asuka and Kyrie were vibing the whole time everybody was come out.
Every time somebody would come out and they would pan over, you'd see Kyrie dancing.
Kyrie and Asuka are just having the time of their lives over there dancing with each other.
The wildest thing happened, and I will write it down. I will talk about it after I mention it. So obviously we got the Kabuki Warriors, we got Charlotte and Alexa, we got Zarya and Sol Ruka, and we got Roxanne and Raquel.
Yes.
My first note is, why are people now rooting for Charlotte? I hate wrestling fans.
So, thank you for bringing it up. Is it the fans actually cheering, or is it their crowd sweetening? Because you look at the crowd when all this stuff is going on, and nobody's doing anything. But you hear it loud as can be. But you look at the fans in the thing, and they don't look like they're saying or doing anything.
I mean, it could be.
I know they sweeten the crowd, but it seems like WWE's gotten really, really bad about it.
But at the same time, Charlotte looked like she was...
Charlotte, dude. She's super talented.
No. Charlotte was looking like she was enjoying the actual reaction from the crowd. So
I think she's actually looking at the people.
I do. Because
I hope it's genuine.
I hope it's genuine too. But if it is, it's also it's going to make me mad. There's going to be there's no way I come happy out of this, because I enjoy Charlotte and I was happy for her to come back after being gone a year. She's the one. If you remember, we went to the Royal Rumble and I said I hope she wins the Women's Rumble, because.
And she did.
She's been gone. And then she won and everybody hated it. And I'm like, she's the best physical wrestler on the women's roster. She needs to be in a world title match at WrestleMania.
It's because it's not that she won that everybody was mad. It's they thought that she was going to end up with the title again instead of putting somebody over. The meme is Charlotte wins, lol. Because she's won too much.
Well, yeah.
She's got to be pushed.
She's got to win as much as her dad.
Does she though?
Yeah, we need to get him. Like, listen. If everybody can win a championship more than her dad, so that he falls really far down the list, I'd be okay with
that. That ain't gonna happen, because the number is not even that. His number's not even 17. He won way more than that.
I know. But Raquel ends up hitting Sol Ruka. I said with her Tohana bomb. I don't know what they called it. I think it was the Tohana bomb.
It's just a choke slam power bomb.
Right, and they retained. I said we did get a soul snatcher, which is my favorite finishing move from any woman in wrestling right now.
Yes, it's a very fun looking move.
We got Zarya hitting Sol with a spear by accident. We did get a cool tag team move from Zarya and Sol, where Sol was up on the top rope and Zarya grabbed her hands and she went up and then turned in midair and came down like a gymnastics move. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I thought it was a pretty solid match.
It was a fun time.
Everybody had a chance to shine, even the NXT ladies. The spear that Charlotte saved, the spear you're talking about, where Charlotte saved Alexa and pulled her out of the way, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid match. Nothing like
Zarya's a big chick. I wouldn't want her spearing me either.
Right.
Alexa looked frightened.
The spot where Alexa got powerbombed over the top rope and then barely caught by the people on the floor scared me a little bit.
The one moment in the match that got a holy shit taunt or chant.
And it should have, because holy shit, I thought her head was about to bounce off the floor. But yeah, I got Roxanne and Rochelle win. Better than I thought it would be. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully one day a couple of these women being called up from NXT. I'm looking forward to Sol Ruka. I'm looking forward to Zarya. I guess they're both the only two from NXT.
I don't know where you put them.
I wouldn't know either. At least not right now.
Like their women's roster across both brands on the main roster is loaded.
There's a few people I think they could send down to bring other people up. And here's the thing: when I say eventually, I don't mean anytime right now.
Right. The only place that they have room for 4 people is the tag division.
Right.
So maybe they'll have to linger there for a little while.
But instead of getting Zarya or Ruka, we'll probably get Jada Parker, because fuck me running.
They do need to send some folks down. Most of them were in the battle royal.
Yeah. Match 4 was the WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, the most unnecessary women's match ever.
It's Tiffy time.
Obviously Tiffany was always going to win this. There was never once I felt Trish was actually going to capitalize on it. Well, not capitalize. I never once felt Trish had a chance.
For someone who is nearly 50 years old.
But she looks great.
Trish can out-wrestle a gang of these people on the roster. And
absolutely.
Good for her. Good for her. She is the one person from that era of wrestling who she just seems to have gotten better. Like, she didn't regress at all. And kudos to her, because you know she puts in the work for it.
I put Tiffany Stratton wins with the perfect moonsault. I feel bad for Trish. She took the moonsault to the face.
Yeah, I put Tiff wins. Pretty good match. I put Trish got to play all the hits. And then I put nice high flying from Stratton. Her prettiest moonsault ever. It is pretty.
It is.
Remember we used to talk about how Kurt Angle had the perfect moonsault because it was just like flipping a sheet of paper over.
And now there's like 3 women that do it just as well.
Yeah, hers is just like turning a page. It's great.
Yeah, I'm a fan of hers, Julia Hart's, and then who's the other female that does the moonsault? There's another one that does a killer moonsault as well. I just don't remember who it is. And yeah, I put good match, even though a bit predictable.
Well, Trish at 49 was not going to beat 26-year-old Tiffany Stratton.
No, we didn't expect her to. I was happy to hear the crowd say "You still got it" or chant "You still got it" to her, because she definitely still has it. She's a great in that ring still.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind for her to come back and actually do some full time for like a couple years. I don't see she won't. And she doesn't need to.
Yeah, she sure doesn't. But she still got it.
I love her outfit.
Exactly where she left it, and she can get it anytime she wants it.
Her outfit had the old women's championship design on it. I thought it was pretty cool.
I missed that detail.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Match 5 was the no holds barred Jade versus Naomi match with Bianca Belair.
This was my most disappointing match of the card.
It is also mine, and it's not 100% their fault.
I had such higher expectations and higher hopes for this.
So I need everybody to understand something. I struggle with WWE's version of hardcore matches, so much so that I kind of wish
women's hardcore matches in general are usually not that great anyways.
I wish they would stop. I don't know. Rosa and Britt put on a hell of one, but that's a whole nother company and a whole nother story. Um,
Yeah.
I struggle with WWE's because here's the thing: I don't need blood. I like blood. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Maybelline was not going to let them bleed.
But I told Joe, we were messaging back and forth a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit, and I said I don't need blood, but I need to believe you actually hate each other. There's a moment where I believe it was Naomi picked up a kendo stick from under the ring, and she goes to hit Jade, and Jade ducks and moves, and eventually does connect with one of the swings. But it's like she swings, hits once, and then throws the thing away. And I'm like, no, beat the fuck out of her. Like, hit her 10, 15 times. Let me know that you really hate this woman. Other than that, I had like no notes. I said Jade hits Naomi with a top rope jaded through the table for a win. I was like, the match was okay, but I'm not a fan of WWE's hardcore matches at this point, and that was all I had because it was so boring. And Bianca Belair, I forgot I was going to mention this. Bianca Belair is now 0 for 2 in interesting special guest referee moments because
she added literally nothing.
She adds
literally nothing.
She's just a face to be on the pay-per-view, and it's like we could have just had a regular referee do the exact same thing she did. This added nothing for me.
They didn't give her a lot to do because of the stipulation of the match, but she was just they could have put a cardboard stand-in of her and it would have been the exact same thing.
Pick a side, fast count for somebody. Do something. Like,
I do have some notes. I did put that heel Naomi is a lot more fun than the heel Naomi.
Absolutely. Somebody, what was it? Michael Cole. Michael Cole's like, I miss when she was out here and she was so much fun and she was all about glowing it up or whatever he called it. And I was like, no, I like this so much more.
Well, he's got to play to the baby faces. They gestured to the crowd way too much.
Yes.
And that was mostly Jade. After everything she did, she wants a pop from the crowd for some fucking reason. They did have a nice, it was a messy match for the most part, but there was a nice spot where Naomi did that apron pile driver to Jade.
Right.
That was pretty good looking. By far the best looking thing of the match. And for Jade's finisher at the end, that was just literally Naomi jumping through the table by herself.
Right.
So it looked awful. It just was.
And then one move specifically that pissed me off. Jade puts the trash can over Naomi, but in the process, Naomi falls down, and the trash can almost completely falls off of her when she falls down.
And she had to put it back on her own head. Yeah,
she goes to stand up and scoops the trash can, and you can see her hand scoop underneath the trash can, and I'm just like, guys, we know it's not. We know it's staged. We know, but when that happens, they should have called a quick audible. Jade should have walked over, picked her up, held the trash can as she picked her up, and then ran off the ropes to come back and do the kick that she was going to do anyways.
She's still good.
I'm not a wrestler, and I thought of it.
I know.
I know. But at least nobody swung a chair and then stopped right before connecting, and then get confused on what to do.
Good old Nia Jax. Setting the bar so low that no one else can get there.
Speaking of which, number 6 was a women's battle royal.
Which was by far the worst thing on the show.
Yeah. Other than the very, very end, I loved how it ended. The actual end.
You just liked who won, which I agree.
Well, I like who won, and I like the way she won.
Person won. Yeah, the whole ass slamming somebody's head into the thing on a pay-per-view where we're supposed to celebrate women seems a little sexist, but
not when she's been doing this move for 15 years.
I get it. It's a part of her. The whole show kind of had some hypocrisy to it. Like the main advertisement in the middle of the ring being Maybelline.
Somebody
The Saudi advertisement in the two corners.
somebody
It's just like,
jokingly had
yes,
said early on, they were like,
super progressive and women focused.
somebody early on said, it was before the show started. It was during the little bit of pre-show that I caught while I was cooking. Somebody goes, "Yeah, you're not gonna see any bra and panty matches here," and I went, "Aw." I joke about that, guys. I don't actually want bra and panty matches, but it cracks me up that was the go-to comment during the pre-show. And I was like, dude, I ain't actually thought of a bra and panties match in forever. But yeah, the women's battle royal. So I was getting ready to write down, because I keep all of my notes on Google Docs, and I'm getting ready to type out. I guess technically I'd be typing it out. Getting ready to type out all the entrances, the order that people are coming in, which doesn't matter because it's a battle royal and not a rumble, so they all come in.
Yep, everybody starts in the ring.
But they go through like 2 entrances, and they're like, "We'll be back after the commercial break," and then we come back from the commercial break, and everybody is in the ring, and I'm just like, "Oh
no, not everybody." The end of Ivy Niles' entrance, and then you had Candice LeRae and Nia Jax come in after that,
and then Stephanie, and then Julia.
I think Julia was the last one.
It might have been.
Yeah, because she came in, took her gear off, handed the belt, and they rang the bell.
But yeah, so I didn't write out who got thrown over. I don't even know who most of those people were.
There was a lot of NXT women.
The only thing that I kept saying to myself was, please let Nia Jax get eliminated. Please let Nia. As a matter of fact, I don't want the 2 people that I didn't want to win lasted much longer than I wanted them to win to last. I didn't want Nia Jax to win. I didn't want Nikki Bella to win.
It's like 2 of the final 4.
And it gets to the point where, and it was funny because at one point, Nia Jax disappeared. And I was like, no one has mentioned that she's been eliminated. And then all of a sudden, you see her slowly rise from the back right corner. And I see her face pop up. And I'm just like, you've got to be shitting me. And she slides in the ring, helps eliminate somebody. And they get to the final 4, which is Nia, Nikki, Lash. I think her name's Lash Legend.
Uh-huh.
And Stephanie, the winner.
Stephanie Vacu.
And at this point, I am like, oh, so Stephanie's the smallest person in the ring. Or no, I didn't notice that until after Nikki got eliminated. So Nikki got eliminated. And then I was like, dude, it's Steph versus these 2 huge women. I've never seen Lash Legend before. I've heard about her. Never seen her.
You saw her. She was in the Royal Rumble that we were at. She was in the Royal Rumble in January.
Then I definitely didn't see her. You remember how far we sat from that ring?
It wasn't that far. We were in the entranceway.
I don't remember her in the entranceway looking as big as she did tonight on TV. Like, I'm being legit. I couldn't see the ring barely from where we were sitting. I watched what I could from the Titantron right next to us, or the screen.
Well, we were in a football stadium.
Right.
We were right off the floor in a football stadium. So yeah, it was probably still 50 yards away. The ring was.
It was pretty far. So I watched what I could through the screen, and I don't think I ever noticed her on the screen. Because,
yeah, she was in there. She had a decent showing then too.
But yeah, no, she is huge, dude. Huge.
Yeah, she looked good in this match. Aside from Stephanie, who won, she probably looked the best in this match. Honestly,
I will say, while this is probably the worst match on the card, WWE made their best decision on this card by not putting Nikita Lyons in it.
Yeah,
she is so bad. That's a whole nother story, dude. I catch nothing but her stupid shit that people post on Twitter, and it's hilarious.
Her botches.
They're not even botches. It's just her being terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like dancing for 20 minutes.
Oh.
It's bad.
She's been down there a while. You'd think by now she'd be a little better, but
No. So I put in all caps, Stephanie Vecchio wins with the Devil's Kiss on the apron, tossing Last Legend out. I liked the way it was set up too. Last Legend goes to power bomber over the top rope. And in the process, Stephanie basically her and Karana's her over the rope with her.
Yeah, she head scissors her over with her.
And then manages to turn around on the apron with her head still between her legs, does the Devil's Kiss, and then shakes her off with her hips.
Just rolls her off with her leg.
And then she wins, and I was super excited to see her win. I thought it was cool that they did the interview with her. And yeah, she gets a world title match at Clash in Paris.
Yes,
So,
they're picking back up her push, which I thought was dead because they just haven't used her very great lately.
yeah, and I looked it up. So there's 2 pay-per-views next month. There's SummerSlam, which is the 2 nights, which is the first weekend of August. And then Clash is August 28th or 31st or something like that. It's at the very end of the month.
So the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Which is probably when AEW also has a pay-per-view.
Probably. No, I actually think they don't. Do they have a pay-per-view? I know All Out's their next one, but I don't know. I thought they pushed it back.
AEW usually always runs Labor Day weekend. I only know because I've been to a bunch of All Outs. Let's see.
All Out is September 20th.
Okay, they moved it. Good.
And that's good. So 2 years ago, All Out was the weekend after All In. And I was like, well, that's bullshit.
It was like 2 weeks.
I definitely
They were 2 weeks apart.
I didn't see All In that year because I had spent my extra money on All Out. And then, in fact, I don't think I watched All In last year. Or All Out last year because I spent my money on All In, is what I meant to say the first time.
Yeah, you missed the better of the two, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know. I watched the all of the ups and downs, and I was like, you motherfuckers. But yeah. But I went for All In because All In is like their big one, and yeah, anyways,
well, All In's the one they got the rights back to. All Out was the one that was their big one.
Right. So I wrote, as long as it isn't Nia or Nikki, I'm good. Let's go.
I wrote the right person won. Thank goodness.
I'd have been cool with her. I'd have been cool with Julia.
Julia's got a strap. Julia doesn't need it.
Oh, I know. But I don't like I said, I don't like Nia. I don't dislike Nikki. I just don't care a whole lot for her. 1 second. All right, and lastly, we've got the match 7, WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley.
Yes, indeed, Rhea.
So this is actually a super solid match. I don't think anyone expected it not to be. It's Io and Rhea. When Stephanie won, I thought I knew who was winning this match.
You thought it was going to be Rhea based on that?
No, I thought it was going to be Io because
styles mesh a little better.
Well, the last time Io wrestled Stephanie, it was super dope, and then the match got interrupted.
That was on what, a SmackDown? No, or was that on a Raw?
No, it was on a Raw. That was Stephanie's.
I remember it.
That was Stephanie's first time ever on Raw.
Right.
She came in. Her and Io shared an actual real wholesome moment because they're both foreigners.
Right.
They talked to each other both in their broken English as well as in their individual tongues.
Languages.
And then they agreed to have a match. And that was while Stephanie was still the NXT Women's Champion. And then, yeah, they wrestled. And I think it was like halfway through the match, somebody interfered, and I don't remember who it was. I say halfway. Technically, that's the end of the match. But, but yeah.
Halfway of what could have been the conclusion of the match.
Right. So, I thought, oh, hey, Stephanie won. That means Io's got to win, right? Right?
Which I would have been okay with. I love Rhea Ripley, but I've got Rhea Ripley fatigue right now because she's just everywhere. And
here is my thing. The best possible outcome happened for me because I'm still not the biggest Io fan, and I also
love me some Io.
Am about over some Rhea for right now. So the best possible outcome absolutely happened tonight for me.
So I'm not upset about the cash in. I'm not. Okay, I am upset about the cash in, but I'm only upset about the cash in because of how weak they made Naomi look earlier.
To be fair, they didn't, though. She actually dominated most of that match. In fact, she had to put herself through a table to lose.
And she did. But I don't like... Even when Seth Rollins did it at WrestleMania, when he, earlier in the night, lost to Randy Orton, then he came out and beat Lesnar and Roman. Well, that was the first time that had happened, so that was kind of dope. I don't know. This one just didn't mesh with me. I am super happy for Naomi. I think it is well deserved. I think her leaving, establishing herself, and coming back is what led to this.
So many.
And I hope that they let her be more of herself.
So many people were so mad when Sasha and Naomi left when they did, not understanding why they left. Like, there's so much of that tribalism that goes around that's like, you're gonna eat the shit we feed you and you're gonna like it from the fans.
It's you should just be happy you're there.
Yeah. And
no, good for them for wanting more, knowing they deserve more, and then going and doing something about it.
Right. So, and that's what I try to tell people. I love Naomi's path. She went to TNA, became the TNA Knockouts champion, was actually their champion for a while, and only lost because she was going back to WWE.
She gained the respect of a lot of people there.
Yep.
Her matches with Jordynne Grace there were great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like a completely different wrestler from what you were used to if you only watched WWE TV.
And then she came back and brought that back with her. So it was I loved her path. I love Sasha going and becoming Mercedes and doing what she wants to do, just in a completely different way. She went and wrestled all over the world and eventually made her way to AEW, where she's probably having one of the best overall runs of her career. So yeah,
and spoiler, Bayley may follow suit when her contract's up.
We'll see. But yeah, no, I was super excited that Naomi won. In terms of, I'm glad it's Naomi. Like, I was glad when she won Money in the Bank. I thought they had the right person win that.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm happy to see that she cashed it in and actually won. It was done a little sloppily, though, and it's not so much... It's kind of her fault for not having ears. She stood there. They rung the bell after announcing it, and then she was like, ring the bell. And I'm like, Naomi, the bell rung. Get in the fucking ring. And then they rung it again, and then she slid into the ring.
She just wanted to make sure, man. When you got a contract like that guarantees you you want to make sure that thing starts, just in case something screwy happens and you need to get out of there.
Oh, I know. But yeah, she came in. She laid out Io, threw Rhea into the turnbuckle post. She fell outside the ring, and then Did her
hit a split-legged moonsault for the
yeah
win.
hit her Starship Pain, and then I just like being an asshole. And then yeah, got the win.
All in all, the match before she got out there
Was pretty
very
decent.
good.
Oh, when they spilled out into
Rhea
the crowd, a lot of fun.
Yeah, Rhea and Io killed it, like they always do.
Io jumped
Rhea
off those
showing
two
the
boxes,
frustration. Yep.
and I was like, "Oh, please don't hurt yourself."
Right. Rhea getting frustrated because the ref got bumped and knocked off, and then drug Io through the crowd for the high spot, and then getting back and all that stuff. It was paced out pretty well because they needed to go long, because they needed to go like almost 40 minutes, because by the time the intros and stuff started, it was like until the top of the hour. So I'm like, man, I hope this isn't just going to be a quick match and then they're done. But they ended up going to the, what was it, 9:30, 10:30?
Right.
So yeah, they gave them a lot of time. They filled the time well. Io and Rhea got really good chemistry. They wrestled their ass off. Naomi came in and capitalized and got the end of show fireworks display.
Yeah, so over and above all, if you take away the women's battle royal, this has convinced me they can fire all of the men, and just have women-based shows. Because I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the better WWE PLEs for the year so far.
So WWE's been living off their women's division for a while now, because the creative for the men has been awful, and the work rate kind of been just mailed in.
That's what the WWE style is, though. It's a phoned in.
Well, they book seriously for twice a year: WrestleMania season and the lead up to WrestleMania season.
Right.
The rest of it is just coasting, or at least it feels like coasting. And you can tell these ladies actually care. They don't get the time that the men do, so they actually care about capitalizing on the time they have. They try to take the creative they're given and make the most of it. And yeah, kudos to them.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the show. Like I said, I thought Evolution was pretty good. If it wasn't for the fact that I was so damn tired.
Burnout over All In.
Like, you guys don't understand. I was up until 7 a.m. after watching, because we watched 10 hours of wrestling with the two shows combined.
Was it 10 hours?
It felt like it, with the pre-show and everything combined. I'm pretty sure
it was probably like 8. It was a shift. It was like a work shift.
So it was like 8 hours of wrestling, and then we recorded a 3.5-hour podcast. Joe and I talked. So Joe and I talked for an extra Alpha podcast, 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah, you were up till 7. I bailed on you about 4 a.m.
Yeah, you bounced. I stayed up till about 7. I ended up going back and watching AEW's
press conference.
Press conference was actually really good. So a couple.
Tony Storm came in your pants. Not willing to sell him.
Well, yeah. So a couple points I wanted to bring up. I might as well, since we're at the end, anyways. Turns out Adam Cole has a concussion, and that's why he's out.
Which apparently it came from when he got clotheslined for.
Right.
Why am I blanking on his name? Fletcher.
Right.
On the Collision show.
I wish
woke up the next day with symptoms.
Right. And if he did, he's had a couple others. So I mean, he might have to retire. Like.
Let's.
I hope not. I hope not. But
don't want to. I don't want to think.
You start wrestling in a fucking helmet.
Yeah. Can't really do that. You're not a crash dummy.
Lies. Alexander practically already does.
His headgear. Poor Josh Alexander.
No, so also, by the way, if you haven't already, if you ever have like an hour and ever want to watch one of the best ever AEW interview sessions with RJ, watch Josh Alexander's. I laughed for the whole fucking thing, dude.
Yeah?
It was amazing. And I'm not even a fan.
He's witty like that? I mean, I wish some of that would come across on the camera when he's out there. RJ City.
It's so apparently they've known each other for 20 years.
That makes sense.
So it was a lot of RJ picking on him laughing, and taking jabs back.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. That came out like 3-4 weeks ago. But
yeah, I might have to look that up.
But no, yeah, I rarely run across and actually watch the AEWs. But every now and again, somebody will be getting interviewed, and I'm like, I'm curious. And that was one of them. And I was like, all right. And yeah, it was hilarious. But no, so I don't even remember what the fuck I was originally saying now. I was watching the thing. Now, I had messaged you earlier before I checked on Twitter and found out that Adam Cole had a concussion. And even then, they didn't say exactly, at least from when Sean Ross Sapp had mentioned it, he didn't say exactly what caused it. He just said that it is confirmed that there is a concussion. And the way Tony Khan was dancing around the question and dancing around the answer, it sounded almost like it was more of a mental health thing than anything. Because Tony Khan was like, yeah, he called me up and told me that he didn't think he was going to be able to wrestle, so I thought about it over the night and decided to take the title from him. And he didn't make it sound like he got injured or anything like that. And so I was like...
Well, he's his employer. He can't discuss medical things.
So,
the law.
There's that. And then... what's her face? Tony Storm interview was hilarious because she was talking about cream in her pants. Which was
she's so over the top, it's crazy.
And then she carried off Renee, and she was like, I've got to have her, and then picked her up and ran off with her, and Renee never came back. And I'm pretty sure that was I'm pretty sure that was done so that when Hangman came out, there wasn't going to have to be like the interaction between the two of them tonight after he just basically murdered her husband.
Oh, that's smart.
So Hangman comes out, and actually, here's the thing that I want people to understand. I hate this version of Hangman because he's a babyface. I'm not a babyface Hangman fan.
I hate babyface Hangman. I wish he would go back to being a tweener. I liked his music better when he was a tweener.
I like Psycho Hangman.
About him better.
Burn motherfuckers'
Psycho
houses
Hangman's
down. Do what you got to do. I love it.
Yeah.
But
be the tweener, man. Be the Austin of AEW.
But yeah,
it suits you better. It gives you more personality.
He's got this babyface thing going on, but he had a moment that I absolutely loved, and actually made me appreciate him a little bit more. Somebody had asked him. They were like, "So you're 5-1 in these death matches, in these Texas death matches now. You know, how did you come to start doing them, and why do you keep doing them, or something like that?" And he's like, "So my very first one was against Chris. I don't remember what the wrestler's name is now. Chris something. I got the internet at my fingertips. Let me Google this shit. Who did Hangman wrestle in his first ever Texas
was
death
it
match?
Chris? Oh, it wasn't.
It was not John Moxley. They're just going to talk about this recent one. Oh, this one might have it, though. Hold on. I don't want to hear it. I was just going to show his AEW death matches, and his first one wasn't even in AEW. Anyways, he'd mentioned who it was during the interview, and he said it was the only time he was nervous, and he said, but once he started going, he said, and as he took some sort of weapon or something to the head and started bleeding or something, he said, and then I realized something. I actually kind of like this. And he goes, maybe they shouldn't let me have these matches.
I wish he would have far less of them.
But yeah, he was like, he mentioned it's like, once you start getting into it, he's like you're never truly prepared for him until you're in the middle of them. He's like, and then like when you're wrestling, like, and you start smelling your opponent's blood, and he's like, and you can definitely smell it. He's like,
Sure.
when I was stabbing Mox in the head with that fork, you could smell the blood starting to pour, and he was like,
Yeah, that irony smell.
but yeah, it was almost ominous and funny, and I loved the way he went about it, and then he went back to being like his baby face self, and I was like, you bastard.
Talking about crying and what have you.
Yeah. Um,
Hangman is a super nice guy.
he is. And I think
But golly.
I think that's why he is the baby face that he is, because so many people find him to be super relatable, and I get that. But you know what I find more relatable? Wanting to whoop my boss's ass. And that's probably why I appreciated Stone Cold more as a wrestler. And I think that's why so many people appreciated Stone Cold more, because so many people in their lives have really just wanted to punch their boss once right in the face. And we got to watch Austin do it.
Several times.
A lot. Even his family,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually, like I said, it was a really good press conference. I usually don't watch all the press conferences. I'll watch one or two a year because they're long.
They are long.
And I wasn't ready for bed last night. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have watched it either, to be honest. But yeah, tomorrow we have Monday Night Raw.
Raw. Yes.
I don't know if I'm excited for it or not. The last couple Raws have actually been pretty decent.
Well, they got to start. They got to start ramping up
for
SummerSlam. So they've got to start putting the show together. There's a gauntlet. They advertised on the pay-per-view, the PLE tonight. The gauntlet.
The gauntlet for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, what's that? LA Knight, Penta, Punk, and...
Oh, there's like 7 or 8 people. It's going to be a big one.
They showed 4 people. I'm missing the 4th person. But, so we at least know that Gunther will have an opponent for SummerSlam by the end of tomorrow's show. So hopefully that'll probably be a big part of the show. So that'll probably take up an hour
and honestly,
of the 2-hour Raw. That's probably a good thing.
And honestly, gauntlets are fun.
Yeah, they do gauntlets pretty good. So shouldn't be bad there. We'll see what we get for the rest of the show, but they got to start putting that card together. So should be moving some stuff along.
I'm not mad at WWE for this. This is more of just a general wrestling gripe that I have right now. There are so many multi-man matches that determine things, and I'm getting burnt out on it. Like we got this gauntlet. AEW likes to do multiple man matches to determine number 1 contenders, or just multiple man matches for 40,000 pesos or whatever.
It's because there's not ranking systems in pro wrestling.
And then WWE is like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do 4 multi-man matches to determine the 4 people in the King and Queen of the Ring. I don't know.
It's because they're booking things in a hurry.
But people are like, long-term booking. No, these motherfuckers thrive off of short-term booking. And then they're able to connect something down the line that they're like, oh, hey, we can actually talk about this, connect it. Oh, long-term booking.
There's no long-term booking when everything's 50-50 booking. You're not establishing anybody over one another because you're booking them the exact same.
Right.
Because he won one, now he wins one, now he wins one, now he wins one.
It's like at some point I remember somebody being like, oh yeah, Taker never losing a WrestleMania for 20 some odd 21 times, for 21 straight Manias, 41 straight Manias, however many straight Manias it was, 21 I think, because he went 21 and then 21 and 1, right?
Yes, but that was all by accident. They didn't start actually booking it like that until maybe
That wasn't long-term booking until like
year 15.
18. It's like it was like 17-0, and they were like, "Oh, hey, wait a minute, he's never lost at
And
Mania."
and that's only because like opponents like Edge and Randy Orton are like, yeah, I don't think I should beat him. He's undefeated. I don't think he should lose here.
Yeah, and he was trying to put people over because for him, it's a business, man. Like, is it cool to have the streak? Yeah, but there's been plenty of stories where he's tried to talk Vince into letting somebody else beat him. And then they picked the one person that absolutely didn't need it to do it.
Yeah.
I still think only two ways he should have lost. I would not have minded as much him losing to Roman the year after if that was the first one.
Because at least you're putting a young guy over.
Right, at least you're putting a young guy over.
Roman didn't. They've been shoving Roman down everybody's throat.
But what I always said would have been the perfect Undertaker first loss, is, and they would have never done it at the time. But I've always said they should have used Undertaker's first loss to turn Cena heel. Because a lot of people wanted the Cena versus Taker WrestleMania match. And
it would have been a huge shocker too.
And if you're going to push him heel, just imagine Cena doing everything that he can and not being able to pin Taker. He hits him with 2, 3, 4, attitude adjustments, puts the fucking STFU on and doesn't get him to tap out. And finally he's just like, I don't know how else to beat him. And ref gets knocked out somehow or gets pulled, somehow gets accidentally hit. And then all of a sudden Cena goes out, grabs a chair, and beats down Taker with the chair, and then hits him with like another AA, slides the chair out the ring, gets the win. And then all of a sudden he's the heel because he just beat the biggest babyface at the time in a heel way, and they were wanting to push him heel for a split second anyways, and then they just decided not to turn him heel. But I just feel like that would have been a great way to turn him heel, and yeah, but. Either that, like I said, or, like you said, putting over a younger guy is also perfectly fine. I think the first actual streak where they mentioned the streak was Orton doing the Legend Killer gimmick to him.
Yep, probably. That was a while ago, so I don't remember specifically, but but guys were pretty much booked to go over, and they were just like, I don't think I should.
Yeah, that was 13-0 Taker going into the Legend Killer match. I wouldn't have minded Orton winning that match either. But I like Orton. But yeah, that's I don't have anything else unless we wanted to talk a little bit more about Okay, I know something we could talk about as an addendum to end our conversation on.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? It's probably the same as mine. What's your favorite time period of wrestling and why?
Well, obviously the golden era of the Monday Night Wars. So that's what, 95 to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been the Attitude Era. Well, right before the Attitude Era, right before ruthless aggression and all that nonsense.
So, my favorite period of wrestling is the Attitude Era. I don't have as much love and, I guess, nostalgia or whatever for the WCW during that time because I didn't watch it. I played the video games on 64 for sure, but I didn't switch channels to watch WCW in between what I was watching on Raw.
So what I did was I would because Nitro came on an hour before Raw
Right.
because Nitro was 3 hours. I would watch the first hour of Nitro. Raw would come on, and I would switch over. And TNT, after Nitro went off the air, replayed Nitro. So I would finish Raw and then just watch the re-airing of Nitro.
Right.
So I'd get to see both shows each Monday. It was great.
I wasn't allowed to stay up that late. So, I say that, but I actually gamed pretty late into my nights most of the time.
Yeah, I was.
But I mean, I was a diehard WWE fan, WWF fan at that time, and then there's several reasons why I think I like the attitude. Obviously, the edginess, which is probably one of the reasons I lean so heavily into AEW now. I like the edgier, more adult-oriented content. I felt like, and it wasn't just the edginess though. I feel like the character work was a lot better. They had a much larger selection of people that were available to be mixed into the world title picture. And it's one of those things where you never knew who was going to win as far as, world title matches and things like that, because they didn't value long-term title reigns as much as they seem to do now.
No, the whole philosophy then was hot shot booking. They hot shotted the hell out of those titles. So everything you didn't, like, to your point, you didn't know who was going to win a belt from week to week because they didn't. They were just making that shit up as they were going.
And yeah, they didn't care about length of title reigns at all. Prime example.
It was that Jerry Springer shock TV time period.
One pay-per-view first blood match, Kane versus Austin. Kane ends up winning, even though he should have lost.
Yep.
But
was champion for less than 24 hours.
Kane wins, and then turns around and loses it on Monday Night Raw the next night, back to Austin actually. But
yep.
It was things like that I loved about the Attitude Era. And then you had the character work. I felt like there are so many little things in wrestling that I do miss. And this isn't just a nostalgia thing. There are things that I actually feel like were better for wrestling. I miss intricate stage designs. Like, it was great. Like, when you go to watch that Sunday Night Heat, and you're watching, hoping that they show the entranceway somehow, some way, hoping they might have a match, or just to see what the pay-per-view setup's going to look like before you actually order the pay-per-view. If you can even order the pay-per-view, because you might be too broke. But you'd watch that Sunday Night Heat, and you'd get a glimpse of the pay-per-view setup, and it would be like, oh man, that looks so cool. Even when it doesn't look cool in retrospect, like when you look back, dude, I promise you, I remember the year that the Royal Rumble had that stupid taxi cab over the entranceway. And looking back at it now, it looked really stupid, but I remember thinking how cool it was back then. Because they didn't do stuff like that. That was the year.
Now everything's just an LED screen.
But yeah, now everything's just big stage, big TV. And maybe it's a small stage with a long TV, or if they want to fit the maximum amount of people inside the stadium, 650,000 foot ramp that curves, and it's a small. It's not even a TV. It's just a small entranceway.
Yep.
Where somebody comes up.
That's what it was at the Rumble. That's what it was. Like you said, they're just trying to get the most amount of people in the building as possible, which,
I understand. It's business. But like, dude, and people brought signs, and they weren't watched like a hawk either on what they brought signs in for. Obviously they have to now because you have to worry about sponsors and things like that. But back then, they didn't give a shit. They cared.
They just care. They care a lot more now because sponsorships are
Far more stingy.
well,
strict.
It's their most lucrative thing.
But like people would have some fucked up signs. And that was half the fun of watching on TV, was you'd get the camera that would pan through the crowd. And you'd see all the signs, dude. And there's a picture I shared on Twitter that I was like, I missed this in wrestling. And it was a picture from one of those Monday Night Raws where I swear to God, it looked like everybody in the crowd had a sign.
Yep.
And I do miss that. And people are like, oh, well, I'm glad that they don't do that now because people can't see. And it's like, you don't think, you think people actually held those signs up all goddamn show? Like most people would sit down and put the sign down to watch what was going on. Like I don't think I've ever actually run into a live show issue where somebody held a sign up right in front of me for the whole time.
The thing about it is that era of wrestling wasn't necessarily, it wasn't a family thing like it is now. Like most of the people there were grown ass people or teenagers.
Right.
It was a predominantly teen to adult show.
As wrestling should be.
Well,
and then there's the other thing.
That's how you don't make new fans.
They made tons of new fans. I wasn't a fan of wrestling till the Attitude Era. I mean, I watched a few things in the quote unquote Golden Age era, but it was the Attitude Era that made me a fan.
That's because you were a teenage boy and they were shouting about puppies and there was bra and panty matches.
That could be true. But it was more than that, like I said.
Things that attract a teenage boy.
Titles looked like titles and weren't used as just advertisements.
You mean they weren't just giant corporate logos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to the character work, dude, aside from Austin, you had Rock, who made fun of so many fucking people. My favorite, and it took place. My old favorite Rock moment used to be the very first time he ever used "It Doesn't Matter" to Billy Gunn.
That was here. That was in Indy.
It was in Indy, and it was funny because it made it seem like he legit.
That was a Sunday Night Heat.
He was like, "Who the hell are you?" He's like, "I'm big." It doesn't.
In the blue hell are you?
But after he did that, my favorite ever Rock moment is when he did it to the Dudley Boys, because Bubba
had the stutter thing,
and he had the stutter. And the Rock out of nowhere, he's like, it doesn't matter. Dude, I lost my shit. I still lose my shit when I watch it. It's funny as hell. You just don't get promos like that anymore. And that's stuff that they did off the cuff, dude. That wasn't something that they scripted out and was like, hey, we need you. Like, scripts back then were like, hey, here are these talking points. Make sure you hit them.
Yeah, well, also, you can't have promos with that kind of content anymore because the world is not in that kind of state anymore. Cancel culture and things have changed what TV can be. And honestly, probably for the better. As much as I do like some of the edgier stuff, it's
that's what AEW
not tolerated.
For. That's what AEW is for.
Well, AEW doesn't. You're not gonna get on AEW and have a character like The Rock calling a backstage announcer a hermaphrodite or anything like that.
You sick freak.
Kevin Kelly.
But that goes, and again, I wish I could change the world and make us fucking less soft as well. I don't.
Well, it's not. Our sensitivity is different.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't have that.
Well, it's because you've not been persecuted against your...
I spent my entire high school time being made fun of for being white because I went to a predominantly black school. I got made fun of. I almost...
Everybody gets made fun of.
I almost offed myself. I mean...
I don't remember that. And I was your friend then.
I didn't talk to anybody about it until about 5, between the last 5-10 years. I'll talk to you about it at another point. I can talk after we're done recording. I've shared my story on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I hate how soft we are. Now, there are some things I wouldn't want brought back. I don't need bra and panty matches for the women. I don't need the women to be degraded. I don't need anybody making fun of people for being gay. Things like that. But I don't know. There are some light things that people can be made fun of for that I think is okay.
And people can be humorous. Humor is humor.
You know what I need more of? More people dragging
What's
off
that?
caskets at the back of trucks.
Oh, big show and boss man.
That's what I need more of. But no, it's not just, like I said, there's a lot of things that go into why I think the Attitude Era was, in my opinion, the best actual time period in wrestling. And it's a culmination of it all. Any of the things you can take away, and you could be like, well, it would probably still be good. But I do feel like it was just the sum of all parts. It was good timing for everything.
It was necessary too because they were getting their asses kicked.
I loved everything DX was doing. I loved them bringing
the Monday Night War and WCW actually being a actual threat to their business. Forced them into creative spots that made their show better.
You had characters like Kane. Kane was cool. I did like the first year or so of the Ruthless Aggression era. Because honestly, it was just an extension of the Attitude Era.
I fell off in the Ruthless Aggression era because I watched the first part of it. I started working. I worked nights, and that was back before DVR.
I fell off around the time Kurt Angle left.
That's the crazy thing. Kurt Angle leaving is what brought me, and joining TNA is what brought me back to wrestling. Because I would watch TNA, but I wouldn't watch Raw or SmackDown.
Back when, and dude, Angle makes my top 5 best wrestlers of all time list, probably at number 1.
Not my number 1, but he's in my top 5.
He's not amongst my favorites, but he is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best ever. If not the best ever. He's arguably number 1 for me. I'd have him.
He took the wrestling like a fish takes to water, and it was just insane how easy the stuff came to him.
It's hard for me to actually put together an order list. I can list off because Angle would be up in my top 5 probably. I would probably have not my personal top 5, but in my top 5 best ever list. Bryan Danielson would be on that list. Kenny Omega would probably be on that list.
Kenny's up there. It just depends. It depends on the day. It depends on what I've just watched. It depends on a lot of factors.
Well, the only reason I do hate lists like that too, I feel like you've really got to make them by era.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's not fair to put together a best ever list and truly.
Like you said, you can have your favorite. Your favorite is always going to be your favorite. Like my favorite is Bret Hart.
Right.
It's always going to be Bret Hart.
But it's so hard to be like, oh yeah, best ever. Well, yeah, but if you look at if you're gonna go best ever, it's really hard to put people pre '80s on a list of best ever because wrestling was different then.
Wrestling's different now than it was in the 90s.
Right, it is. So I don't know. I guess the best ever list is terrible to do. Favorites is easy for me though. My top 5 favorites probably Taker, Shawn, AJ Styles, Austin and Rock. Not in that specific order, but that would probably be my top 5. It'd definitely be Taker, Shawn as 1 and 2, and then probably Austin, and then AJ, and then The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, I think we're done. You got anything else to add?
I do not.
Alrighty,
We'll
guys.
pick it back up tomorrow on our coverage of Raw.
Absolutely. We will see you guys tomorrow for Raw, and yeah, take care. Peace.
Later.